Hello everyone, this is honeymaysims and welcome back to my channel for a brand new speed build. So today I am building the iconic Goth family a brand new home, and it is for my new safe help project that I'm currently working on. This is the third build I'm doing and I think I'm making some good progress so far. I feel like I've been really invested into this project and it's so much fun to come up with stories, sims and houses. So the two other builds are already up on my channel, so if you're interested in more of the save file builds, you might want to check them out after this video. But for today's video though, we are having a look at the Goth's new house that I've built, and I'm going to talk more about the family and what kind of updates I've done to them. So I built this house over on Twitch, by the way, where I stream weekly. So if you want to follow the progress of the save file in real time, make sure to head on over there and leave a follow to get notified of my next stream. So yeah, if you're familiar with the Goth family in The Sims 4, you might already see that we're not on the same lot that they usually live on. So I moved them across the street to this bigger lot. It's called the Umbrage Manor lot. And the reason why I moved them is I wanted more space, simple as that. I wanted a grand Gothic Victorian house for them, including some luscious garden space, because for my save file, Bella Goth is going to be very much into gardening. She's going to be a florist in the gardening career that comes with the Seasons expansion pack. She is originally a secret agent, which goes with the whole Bella Goth disappearing from time to time storyline. But if I'm going to be honest, the secret agent career isn't my favorite career. I honestly can't remember the last time I played with it. So I wanted something different for Bella this time, and I thought gardening could fit her vibe, like maybe a rose garden could fit her whole black and red Gothic vibe. So we are going to have space specifically for her hobby and career on this lot, both outdoors and indoors, because I'm going to make this sunroom or winter garden type of a room in the back with big glass windows and a glass roof. Initially, I had a whole different shape in mind for that sunroom, but I found a really pretty inspiration picture on Pinterest, so I do change up the shape and I end up quite satisfied with it. I feel like it complements the style of the house more and it takes up less space of the back garden. And speaking of the back garden, I did get a suggestion for a graveyard type of a thing in the back over on stream. I wasn't able to put in like a big graveyard or anything, but I to put some tombstones in the back in its own space. Like maybe the Goth family has lived here for such a long time that family members are buried on the lot. I think I cut out a big portion of the landscaping footage for this video, but it turns out quite luscious with a variety of white and red flowers to complement the dark exterior. The romantic garden stuff came in handy for this lot for sure. I rarely use that pack, but it has some pretty flowers and I need to remember to use those more often. But yes, I don't show too much of me like putting together the garden, but we are of course going to check this out in the build tour at the end of the video. But yeah, back to Bella, who I was talking about. She's going to be a florist. She'll now have the freelance botanist aspiration, I think it's called. I'm also dabbling with this idea of her actually owning her own florist shop or garden center in Willow Creek or Newcrest even, but it might be too much to handle if she's already going to be working in the career, like the gardening career. So it might be like both or just one of them. I'll have to think a bit more about it. Though I do think it would be really cool to make something like that. And yes, I have given the Goth family a makeover like I'll do with all the pre-existing Sims in The Sims 4. I'm currently only focusing on renovating the base game world, so Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, and Newcrest. It won't be a pack restricted save file, but at least I won't be using any kits for it. But yes, as for the pre-made Sims, I try my best not to mess too much with their facial features. However, Bella Goth is one of my favorite pre-mates in The Sims 4, maybe in The Sims overall, and I really liked how she looked before. So if you didn't know, the Goth family used to look different than how they do now if you start up a new save file. It must be like a year or two ago that they got updated. I really can't remember because time really flies. But yes, I did give Bella Goth her old nose back for my save file. I really did love her previous nose and I just couldn't not do it. And yes, I've also changed up her hair and clothes as well. She looks very fancy now with this vintage glamour hairstyle, I think it's from, and this red dress. One thing I noticed when choosing her everyday outfit is that there aren't a lot of pretty dark red casual dresses in The Sims 4, so I landed on this one from My Wedding Stories. I think it's from, if I'm not like totally mistaken, and I do think she ends up looking pretty cute. And in my save file, Bella is still married to Mortimer Goth. However, I do get the feeling something fishy might be up, like, I don't know, an affair or something. I talked a bit about this in my previous save file speed build, the Mediterranean villa for Dina Caliente, and Mortimer and Dina might have something going on because that was actually a thing that was happening in The Sims 2. So I thought, why not bring some of that drama into The Sims 4 lore too? So we'll see how that goes in the save file. At least Mortimer is originally a freelance article writer for some reason in the default save file now, and I wasn't really feeling that for him. I mean, it could be an author just writing books, but I got the doctor vibe from him, more specifically a mortician, you know, a person who does funeral arranging in preparation of the deceased. But we don't really have anything like that in The Sims 4, so I felt like the closest to that was the doctor career that comes from Get to Work. Alternatively, I was thinking of a scientist too, both which are from the Get to Work expansion. But in the end, I picked the doctor career for him, and along with it, I gave him the genius trait. I also got the feeling he'd be very into piano and violin playing, so I added those to his likes. And I added both as furniture in the house too. I'm not sure if the placement of the piano is weird or anything. We'll check that out later, but I did put it in the entryway because I didn't have any other space for it that made sense. And I think it ends up looking nice there, in my opinion. Like, just imagine the Goths having a dinner party or something similar and the guests are welcomed by Mortimer's piano playing. I thought that was like a fun scenario to imagine. Next up we have Cassandra Goth, who is their teenage daughter. I've already sort of planned out her career path, and that is gemology. This is a recent addition to The Sims 4, coming with a crystal creation stuff pack where you can make and sell jewelry, for example. I think the crystal creation stuff pack just fits the Goth family really well. So I wanted to incorporate something from that pack into the family. I also use a lot of items from that pack in the house. They go well with this older, like Gothic Victorian style. And one thing is for sure, and it's that Cassandra dislikes piano now. I think her parents probably made her take piano lessons as a kid and she ended up just hating it. She also tried out violin, but I feel like her one true love is like gemology. So I've added the gemology table or station, whatever you want to call it, in her bedroom. There's also this like charging plate out in the backyard as well. You know, the object you can use to charge different gems and whatnot. And yes, I also did include the Crystal Creations aspiration for Cassandra too. I can't remember the exact name for it, but it's all about like that pack and gemology. I also think I want to incorporate like a little like crush for Cassandra. I'm not too sure like who she's going to be crushing on. Maybe it's going to be like a fellow goth teen, or if it's completely opposite of her vibe. I haven't really thought that far yet, like who it's going to be, but I think it's going to be fun to like incorporate some high school drama for the teens as well, whether it be someone is having a crush on someone or they're like in relationships or like anything like that. I am definitely going to add something for Cassandra as well. So that's a little something about Cassandra, and then we'll move on to the youngest kid, who is Alexander. And he definitely takes after his parents too, in the sense that he's quite clever and he's into science and more of a, like a logical way of thinking. I imagine he'd definitely be in the chess club in high school when he becomes a teen. And in his bedroom, I've added a few school projects like the rocket and robot that you can do with the Parenthood game pack. Like they come home every Monday with school projects that you have to do. There's also this ceiling light with planets that I thought was a cool addition to his room. So maybe he's into planets and stars. Want to be maybe like an astronaut one day, who knows? Maybe he wants to work with IT, engineering, or be a scientist, anything like that. There's also a telescope on the lot, so maybe he's interested in alien life. I don't think kids are the easiest to make storylines for sometimes in The Sims, since they literally have their entire life ahead of them and things can change along the way and they might not have an idea what they want to do in life quite yet, just like in real life. But for sure Alexander is into science. And I can't lie, if you've seen what Alexander looks like when he ages up into a teen now after the update from the Sims team, you probably would have done the same thing as me, and that is just deleting that poor kid and making a new Alexander with the genetics tool in CAS, and I guarantee you he looks much better now. I don't know what the Sims team did to him, but he doesn't look much like his parents, but at least now he does. So yes, overall they are a family who's very into the science of nature, whether it be flowers, anatomy, or geology and gems, space, anything like that. And also, before I forget, I added a little companion to the family, and it's this cute black cat named Salem. I thought it would be perfect for this family to have a cat, so there you go as well. I also want to mention there is a basement in this house. It's maybe a bit suspicious. I don't know. You can at least find a seance. How do you say that? Seance circle? From the Paranormal pack, and a vampire coffin from the Vampires pack. Because for some reason I feel like the Goth family is very spiritual. Maybe they're from some sort of occult family or something like that. I did touch upon the idea of maybe making Bella a spellcaster, but I decided against it in the end because I don't know, there hasn't been anything in the previous games that tells you she would be like occult, so I decided against it. But that is like a storyline you could play around with, like maybe Bella wants to figure out more about spellcasters and potentially become one, or maybe she comes from a family of spellcasters or mediums. But for now I decided to just make her very into flowers and botany, though I do feel like spellcasters or witches go hand in hand with botany really well, so maybe there's a connection there. But yeah, they're definitely communicating with the deceased in that basement, which again connects with the whole graveyard and tombstones in their backyard. Maybe they want to get in touch with their previous members of their families. I'm not that into the whole occult aspect of The Sims, but I think this was just a nice storyline idea for the Goth family. And I do think I've touched upon everything that I want to tell you in the speed build for now, so I will leave you with some nice background music for the rest of the speed build, and I'll of course talk to you more when we do the build tour at the end of the video. So enjoy! And here is the brand new house for the Goth family here in Willow Creek on the Umbrage Manor lot. We did move them just across the street, but I think it was all worth it for the bigger lot, the bigger house, and the bigger garden. So I did focus a lot on the exterior, trying to make it have that Gothic Victorian vibe and adding all those extra details, all from the greenery and vines on the walls to the ornaments on top of the roof here. I also put in lots of flowers and plants and trees to try and make this into Bella's dream garden, as she is going to be a florist in my save file. I think this is my favorite build for the save file so far, so let's go on a little tour of the house and let me show you all the nooks and crannies of this house. This house has a lot of balcony space. I didn't utilize like all of the space, like for example on the second floor here, but I put in like just like a table, a bench, more flowers, and also like in the front garden here we have a sales table. I think that works well for both Bella's like floral arranging things and also for Cassandra's jewelry. We also have some monkey bars here for Alexander and also a little bike for him. If we move on to the back garden, here we have that sunroom or winter garden that I mentioned in the speed build voiceover. I'm quite happy with the shape of this one. It was originally going to look a bit different, but I'm glad I changed it up. Here too, you can see a lot of flowers like framing in the house, and I also used terrain paint to like make these paths all around the house and to all these different spaces. Over in this corner here is the graveyard, like small graveyard or just like tombstones area. Maybe the Goth family has been living in this house for so long that previous family members are buried here. We also have a gazebo here in the back. I just put a simple like table and some chairs in there along with a candle. So maybe they sometimes sit out there, enjoy the weather, and just hang out. Over in this corner, we have more of like a gardening space for Bella. I decided to put in a cow plant. Actually, I think she would have cow plants, and I also put like a mosquito trap in the indoors gardening space that we will get back to. But yeah, they're like just some flowers out here. There is also like the moonlight crystal grid that you can charge crystals on as well. I think that would be perfect for Cassandra and her interest in gemology. On the second floor balcony here, I also have more gardening space. I wasn't too sure what to put here, so why not just add even more spots for gardening? And I decided to leave these empty so you can put whatever you want there and grow it. The first floor balcony here in the back has, you know, it's looking very simple. It has a grill and a table with some chairs. We're going to check out the entryway first. I think it ended up looking pretty cool. We have like this picture wall here that continues up to the second floor that we will get back to. I put in the piano here. I wasn't too sure where to put it, so I took like a chance and I put it here in the entryway. Like you can imagine Mortimer, who's into piano, he's just like playing while guests are coming in for like a dinner party or something. Tried my best to put like clutter here and there just to make it look more lived in, a bit like older as well. For some reason I feel like older homes, they just have more knickknacks and clutter and things. So I tried to do more of that here too. We have a dresser here. I did this little like tool scam trick, I suppose, by using a picture frame and putting in some mirrors here. If I put down the walls, you will actually just see the mirror itself, but there is a picture frame around it too. And I just put like a tray here with some glasses, so maybe they have some beverages for guests as well. And also I think it was so pretty to just have these tiles in here in the entry. We have this beautiful archway that comes with Realm of Magic, which leads us into this part of the house, which is kind of like a library place, I would say. It has these big bookshelves. I have used this ladder item. It is a live edit object from Cats and Dogs actually. This chair is just giving me like older library vibes, so I wanted to put it there. We have a bar. There is a fireplace. Again, just a few clutter items here and there. There's also 2 couches here and you can just chill basically. Over in this part of the house, there is actually a door from the porch leading into like a little mudroom or a laundry room. I put the washer and dryer in here. There is a connected bathroom. This is the only bathroom downstairs. So I decided to go for more of like a vampire style, I suppose. We have the vampire's bath and shower combo and this older looking toilet, and I combined it with this sink from Cottage living. This room over here is more like the office or study space. I was thinking it was more meant for Mortimer and like his career. He probably does a lot of research. Again, I put in sort of like a picture wall, but it has some other clutter items too. There is a bookshelf. This rug I've used like many spaces in this house, but in like different swatches. It's so perfect for like an older looking house. It is from Growing Together. And I put in like this carpet item on the wall and just a little nook here with a mirror and chair. As you can see, there is a staircase here that leads us into the basement. There's not a lot of things going on here, but it does look a bit suspicious nonetheless. We do have the fuse box and water heater, but for some reason there is a vampire coffin here, and there is also this like seance circle and some like scribbles on the floor here, so they're doing some things down in the basement here, like communing with the departed. Connected to the library, we have this beautiful winter garden or sunroom that is dedicated to Bella's love for gardening. I really wanted to have like this space in the middle where you can just do your thing. There is a sink to it and, you know, just like flower arranging. We also do have the actual functional flower arranging table over here. I put in lots of shelves here with little knickknacks and things that would be needed for gardening. There are also some things growing here, like the mosquito trap. There are some roses, I think that would be Bella's specialty, and some mushrooms, and I think I put in some garlic here too. And yeah, just like a few maybe native plants and then some more like foreign plants that they have gotten into this sunroom over probably many years, I think. Over here we have the kitchen and living room. The kitchen is quite big and spacious, I have to say. It's quite dark too. I thought it would be really fun to have this idea with the island and the stove like in the middle. And I wasn't really liking any of the like stove hoods in any of the packs, so instead I decided to use this lamp. But it does make it look like it could potentially be a hood, so I just put it in there. There are lots of little knickknacks over here as well. This is how the living room looks like. Again, there are lots of bookshelves. I really love this golden lamp. You will see this in many rooms here. There are some botany pictures on the walls. I decided not to put in any TV in this house. If you would like to, you can definitely take these down and put in like a TV, but I thought they would have so many other things to like have fun with. I think they would be more into like board games, as you can see here by like the clutter on the coffee table here. They also have an aquarium in here. Yes, there is also like a little gramophone up in this bookshelf here. The last room on the first floor is the dining room that is also connected to the back porch. It is quite simple, I have to say. You have the long table, some fancy chairs. There is like a cabinet over here with some plates and whatnot. I put in a cart with some nectar and glasses. another botany pictures, and just lots of flowers, and the globe bar too. So you might see that the reoccurring theme of this house is definitely lots of plants, lots of dark furniture. This is the layout of the first floor. Let's head on up to the second floor, which looks like this. We have like a landing space here that is open. I put in this chandelier, I suppose. As I said, the picture wall is continuing up to the second floor. I really do enjoy the look of this. Lots of like older pictures. There are some school diplomas and things like that, and I think it works really well in this sort of a house. The rest of the landing area looks like this. I put in like an older looking foosball table that we have from Get Together, just like a cabinet with some china, and yes, quite simple I think, but still fancy. They have a quite big bathroom on the second floor that will be shared by the kids because Bella and Mortimer will have their own ensuite. The kid bedrooms look like this. So first off, Cassandra's room looks like this. I wanted it to look really like spiritual with like the wallpaper and everything. There are crystals, like actual crystals on this mirror here from Werewolves. There are like the pictures, the gemology table here. I actually gave her like a very fancy looking bed. She might have like talked her parents into giving her like this big fancy bed maybe. She has her own desk where she probably journals, does her makeup. There is an older looking mirror, more pictures, and just, you know, a dresser with her beloved gemology things. Alexander's bedroom is quite on theme as well. It's dark. I put in some darker blues as well. He has his own frog over here actually. There are lots of things that would say that he is into like, I don't know, science and schoolwork with, you know, the rocket here, the robot thingy. He has like this secret spy thing, toys, I suppose. He has his own tablet and, you know, it's just like a very cute but simple kids room, I would say. And last but not least, we have the main bedroom, which belongs to Bella and Mortimer. For this one, I also wanted to include more bookshelves. I wanted it to look grand. This is quite a spacious room, to be honest. They also have their own fireplace, more bookshelves. I also wanted to use this like bay window area for a chess table, and also like a very comfy looking couch over there, and also more plants. I also wanted Bella to have her own vanity table, so we have that here. And there's also like this very cute dresser with the like gem knobs on it that I just had to put in here. They have their very own walk-in closet. It's also very, very simple. And they have their very own ensuite over in this room here. And that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a follow for more content in the future. If you want to be notified of when I upload a video next, make sure to click the bell icon too. This build is playtested and up on my gallery. My ID is honeymaysims, or you can find me with the hashtag honeymaysims as well. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today as we build the Goth family a new home. And I can't wait to talk to you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye!